Hello everyone and welcome to 2020. New year, new decade, so many expectations for us. Anyways, so I thought instead of starting this channel somewhere deep and dark, I thought create a nice little light video just to sort of ease you into it, I guess. So this is a little 2019 year in review. I'm just going to be talking about what happened this year, all the different changes and experiences I've gone through, because a lot has happened this year, especially with treatment process and mental health stuff, and also stuff in my personal life. A lot has happened, so it's been a big year. So yeah, we're just going to talk about it. So my year kind of started off pretty well. I was just hanging out with friends, doing the casual, hey look, I'm in college stuff. Yeah, I kind of had a relapse at the end of January, which kind of made things a little bit shaky for, I'd say, about a week, but then things were good. And in February, I kind of got myself back to normal after that shaky January moment, and I turned 18, which was really exciting. I celebrated my 18th birthday by going to the pub. I went to Wetherspoons with my sister, and I went to Nando's like 3 times in that week. It was mental. Also had a little party at my sister's house, which was really great. It was really great. Things were going really well, and like, yeah, I was still struggling, but things were okay. I was like managing, I guess. And then I was seeing a college counsellor at the time. I wasn't with professionals. So what happened is I told the college counsellor what happened in January, and she was like, okay, you need help. Based on like things that we were discussing, she thought I had psychosis, so she wanted me to get straightly referred to the early intervention in psychosis team. But I was referred at the end of March to the assessment and brief treatment team, and I had a mental health assessment. They sort of discussed me self-referring to therapy, and I was like, yeah, cool, I can do that. All under the belt. Not making this public or anything, only like my friends know and stuff, and like my college counselor and safeguarding team, which was very interesting to do. I also found out I was overweight in March, which really upset me. But yes, following through in April, seeing assessments, having psychiatric assessments, etc., etc. In April, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and complex PTSD, all at once. I was also diagnosed with emotional dysregulation, but we don't talk about that. It's like, for me, it's like that's the irrelevant diagnosis. So yeah, April was pretty much just about following treatment, trying to get help. I was referred to my local DBT centre in London, and that failed because of things that I was doing in the future year. It was a 6 to 8 month waiting list, and I couldn't wait that long. So unfortunately, at the beginning of May, or was it the end of April, around that time, I was discharged from the mental health team altogether, and they said, you know what, in a few months, re-refer yourself and you will get therapy. You will get therapy. The month of May started off pretty rocky. Unfortunately, my gran passed away, and don't start crying. Yeah, unfortunately, that was quite a rocky thing. It was the first death that kind of hit me, and it just had to be my gran. So yeah, that was very upsetting for the whole family. We're still grieving, all of us, in different levels. But yeah, so things were like a bit depressing, and then at the end of May, I went to MCM London Comic Con for the weekend, and it was so fun. Like, I think I only had 2 or 3 flashbacks. Like, I said to some people, I was like, yeah, I had no flashbacks, and it was like, Wait a minute, you had 3. So yeah, 3 I can count. It was nothing compared to October 2018. It was really good. I came out of Comic-Con feeling so positive, and I had met all these amazing new friends, and I was into the idol community, and it was just so nice. And yeah, it really kind of started my journey of enjoying conventions again, which I'm really thankful for. So thank you, friends. So yeah, things were actually going really well. In June, I was again hanging out with friends. I finished college and received a distinction, which was really good. I also bought, well, not bought, but we're gonna say bought. I bought a house, but like paid the deposits, and now I'm paying the rent. But yeah, it's this house right here that I'm living in now. I paid all the deposits, signed a bunch of contracts in June, and yeah, I was really excited to finally move away and have an independent life and start university. Everything was like, I was like, yeah, you know, I was excited for the future, and that followed through. In July, I had my sister's birthday party, which was really good. I love when it's her birthday because we have a barbecue at her house, and it's like one of the best things ever. It's the only time we ever have a barbecue, and it's amazing. And then literally the next day was London Pride, which was again really fun. Unfortunately, I started having pains as soon as the parade started, so I was only there for a few hours, but it was still really fun, really good experience. And then the next week, July was a really busy month, but I went to Hyper Japan for the weekend. My very kind friend Alicia won free tickets, and she gave me one of them, and I'm so glad she did because it was really enjoyable. It was really enjoyable. It was a really good convention. I had no flashbacks at all, no triggers, no nothing. And I was really happy, especially on the Sunday, and it felt like I really accomplished something.
And then everything went downhill.
End of July, there was a really bad relapse regarding to trauma, and summers are already a bad time for me. So that was really bad. I'm just glad I had my friend with me at the time. Um, well, for most of it. But yeah, it was a really not so Gucci experience. End of July, just really like, I was on such a high in July, and it was like, nope, never mind, you're gonna be really depressed and anxious and terrified of everything all the time. So yeah, that kind of August was mainly about kind of recovering from that event. So I literally, and also spending my last month in London with my friends, because, you know, I've only, you know, since then I've only seen some of my friends once or twice. But yeah, I just, you know, I went to London Zoo with my family. I went all around places, you know, just kind of seeing friends one last time, building up really nice experiences. And yeah, I then also went to Whipsnade Zoo. My parents have ZSL Zoo memberships, so I got to go to Whipsnade Zoo for the first time ever, and it was such a childhood dream for all of us. So going there was a massive experience. I got to see bears and elephants and rhinos for the first time, and it was like a nice child moment for me. It was very nice, very good experience, very good weather. Like, it was amazing weather for Britain, and it was amazing. And then shortly after Whipsnade Zoo, I moved into this house and started my independent life as a university student, which was really enjoyable as well. It was so good. I was so happy. I was meeting all these new people from all different backgrounds and parts of the country, or even parts of the world. I know people from like freaking other countries, and you know, they're still in that country. You know, I know people who are in Hong Kong at the moment and people who are in Estonia at the moment. It's absolutely amazing knowing people from different backgrounds rather than just London. And I really love and treasure all these friends that I've made and all these experiences I've had It's really nice. Going to all these parties, first nights out. It was lots of new things and it really made me happy. I was really enjoying myself.
And then everything went downhill.
I wouldn't say it went downhill suddenly, like in July, but in October I was referred to the community mental health team here, and I saw a psychiatrist, and he said your care coordinator will, refer you to therapy instead of me. So I was like, okay, I have to wait for this care coordinator to get in touch, and she didn't, which is quite the scummy thing about community services and not private. So yeah, in October I kind of slowly went down this like little relapse. But luckily at the end of October I had Comic Con again, and did I have a flashback? I didn't have a flashback. Oh my god. It was so good. It was such a good con. I mean, there were like ups and downs because of like certain things, but it wasn't anything traumatic or triggering at all, and that was like the best thing ever. I really enjoyed myself. I was really glad to like see all my friends again, because obviously I live far further away from them now, and yeah, it was just really fun weekend. My family was spoiling me rotten with food because I wasn't there, and I like going home because I get to have nice food all the time. So yeah, October MCM was yet another really good experience. This year's conventions have been really kind to me, and I'm really hoping that this year can give me the same experiences, if not better. So yeah, I was kind of still struggling a bit with that relapse, but Comic Con was a great distraction, and then I came back home, and yeah, I was really struggling, especially with not having therapy still. I was seeing all the different counselors in my university, and they put me on an informal suicide watch. It was basically my friend watching me all the time, so it's essentially a suicide watch, but just not something, it's something they recommended, but not something they could actually do themselves. So my mistake of telling my friends, hey, this is what they said, because wow, they actually took it seriously and was with me for almost 2 weeks. But nevertheless, even on this so-called suicide watch, I still managed to have a bit of a moment. Beginning of November, what a great time. I had a heavy suicide attempt and was in A&E. It was the first time I ever went to the hospital for a suicide attempt, so it's very scary. Yeah, I didn't get back until midnight either. And then I had an appointment with my GP the next day, and he almost sectioned me, which was very terrifying because I did not want to be sectioned. It makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, that was like a really dark moment. I'm still kind of, my body itself is still trying to recover from that. Like mentally, I am in a bad place, but my body still hasn't recovered from that one attempt. It's still struggling. I can't do certain things because it takes me back to that. Just saying. I'm not going to go into detail. Like, you don't need to know the gory details. If you were there, you would know. But you weren't there. Anyways, so that kind of struggled. I finally got to meet my care coordinator around mid-November. And, yeah, so I was like, hey, give me therapy. She said no. And that really made me struggle. So kind of November was a very hard month for me. It was just constant struggling, constant BPD really kind of rose up these past few months, which is quite depressing because I'm already struggling with trauma. So yeah, November was quite a bad month, and it kind of followed on into December. I still wasn't getting any help or getting any treatment, and it really got to me. So there were a few more incidents, and I actually missed the university's Christmas party, which was really bad because I'm a lover of all things Christmas and I was really hoping to go there. But no, Alison, you just had to try and kill yourself that night. And then the university obviously eventually found out about myself still struggling, so just before the term broke up in mid-December, I got suspended from university because of my mental health, and it's still ongoing. I'm still suspended. I have a review at the end of the month to kind of go, are you fit to study yet? And I'm like, I hope so. I can't, like, be gone for more than a month. So I hope I am fit to study. I had a good end to the year though. Like, after like all that struggle, I went home to my family for Christmas and New Year's, and it was really good. Not only did I get to see my family and spend Christmas with them because I love Christmas, I also got to see my friends that I haven't seen in ages, and it was a really nice positive experience. It was really fun. I had loads and loads of fun. But I am glad to be back home. I do appreciate and value my independence a lot, so I am glad to be home. So yeah, that's kind of my year in review. As you can see, 2019 was quite a big year regarding my personal life and my mental health. So I'm hoping that 2020 will be a year where instead of just endless waiting lists, I can actually get treatment and move forward in my recovery, so to say. But yes, I hope all of you had a nice 2019, and if you didn't, I hope your 2020 is a lot better. So yeah, goodbye everyone.